And let's just say Trump had enough. Trump had enough. He sees all the screaming, all the yelling, especially about the Iran war, especially about the Lebanon situation. And Trump popped off, the likes of which we've never. Look at this. Look at this absolute monolith of a freaking tweet. Look at this bad boy. All right. Oh my God. It's insane. It's crazy. They made a Star Trek opening, bro. They made a Star Trek, Star Wars opening of the Donald Trump tweet. Trump has enough of podcasters. Right, this is the entire post. I know Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been especially fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. Everyone else knows it too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't even have what it takes, and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost their shows, and aren't even invited on TV because no one cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think that they have some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts and no one's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA, or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump, not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps you should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me the now famous Only Rosie O'Donnell question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers. They always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the flailing New York Times, and all the other radical left news organizations are hailing them, giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA. They're losers, trying to latch onto MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on the world's country affairs. And after a few times, they get nasty, like Marjorie Trader Brown. I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about what's doing right for our country. MAGA's about winning and strength, not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA's about making America great again, and these people have no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump, thank you for your attention to this matter. They're faggots. Faggots and morons. Pathetic and gay. They're gay. So anyway, Donald Trump decided to release the mother of all posts. No, this is an all-timer. I'm not this is a fucking all-timer, I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit. Like, I thought he was gonna say they're traitors, they're paid off by foreign government, they're slimy, they're chasing views, and he's just like, they're low IQ, they're fucking stupid, which is pretty wild. This tweet became an instant sensation everywhere. Right, before I tell you all my opinions on it, it became a sensation. They're making rap songs for this tweet.
I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years. Especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the number one sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people, they know it, their families know it.
Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. It's like, it's truly unbelievable, dude. Truly unbelievable stuff going on these days. Like, this is a wild tweet. But yeah, so this is an absolute evisceration. This is massive and huge, and I have many feelings about it. One of them is, I don't actually think Trump should have done this. I think this was kind of a bad move. Is it a hilarious tweet? Do I agree with basically everything he said? Yes, actually. But do I think it was a good idea? Not really. I don't think it's a good idea for Donald Trump to lower himself honestly, to anywhere remotely near their level by even getting into contact with them. But that said, that doesn't mean I'm just going to sit here and make believe that he wasn't based as fuck for some of the things he said, too. All right, so this is conservative influencer, Hoged Wins. Funny, these are four of the biggest conservative podcasters. They all voted for him and told their massive audience to vote for him. This is their reward. So, like, the sentiment here is obviously, Trump betrayed Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones. Trump betrayed them, and a lot of people seem to have this opinion. Trump attacks his own supporters more than the Epstein clients of the deep state. Now, honestly, this isn't even that wrong. I really wish Trump would go way harder on the deep state and the Epstein clients. rights, etc., etc. I've said this many, many times, but these are not his supporters. I'm really tired of this whole narrative that Trump betrayed his base. Trump betrayed his base by going to war with Iran. Trump has been threatening this war with Iran for 40 years. Trump has been saying this for 40 years. For 40 years, every single time there's a president, he says, he's a weak man. He's gay. He's weak. He won't go to war with Iran. We need to obliterate Iran. He's been saying this for 40 years. Every single time, consistently. You can't have a nuclear weapon. We need to kill them. The Ayatollahs, they're really bad people. Like, he's been saying this forever. So, no, he did not betray his base. I think that's a retarded sentiment. And also, no, this isn't attacking his own supporters. This isn't betraying his own supporters or attacking his own supporters. These are not his supporters. All right, this is Tucker Carlson freaking out that, President Trump mocked Islam.
We can destroy life. We cannot create it because we are not God. The message of all faith at the biggest picture level is the end of it. We can destroy life. We cannot create the idea of faith itself.
No,
and we should never mock that. Because at its core is the acknowledgement that we...
How could you possibly mock faith? Because mocking one faith is like mocking faith itself. No, it's not. It's not at all, actually. Not even close. We're mocking retards that brush their teeth with sticks. How could he mock Islam? No! Please don't tell me Mr. President mocked Islam. All right, here's another one. I think this is treasonous, straight up.
If you work in the White House or in the U.S. military, now it's time to say no, absolutely not. And say it directly to the president, no.
Right, so telling the military to say directly to the president no is actually sedition. And these people will get dishonorably discharged. And I like, are you telling me this is his supporter? Well, you're telling me Trump stabbed this guy in the back after this guy literally told the military to say no to their superiors?
You're thinking about using some weapon of mass destruction against the population of Iran, in whose name we liberated Iran. We killed their religious leader for their benefit. Do you remember that? This was last month.
You think we killed the religious leader of the Iranian people for their benefit? Like these people are just so unbelievably bad faith. We killed a religious leader of a terrorist organization that's been trying to kill the United States for 47 years, and that also has been oppressing the people of Iran for 47 years. You think that's the religious leader of Iran? Like, this guy is actually just siding with the Islamic oppressors of Iran.
Those people who are in direct contact with the president need to say, no, I'll resign. I'll do whatever I can do legally to stop this because this is insane. And if given the order...
And then he defends himself. But legally, the troops have to find a reason not to actually follow orders from the president. Like, this is actually insane, man. Like this is insane shit. What about her? Megyn Kelly. What, did Trump backstab her too?
Now, as you can imagine, that post did not go over well with the Iranians or with many Americans. I mean, I don't know about you, but I am sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. Can't he just behave like a normal human? I mean, honestly, like the president, 3D chess, shut up.
Actually, 3D chess is just regular chess. But the reality is, like, are these Trump's great supporters? Well, what about Candace Owens? Candace Owens saying, the Iranian president tweets like he's willing to sacrifice his life for his people. Donald Trump was willing to sacrifice Charlie Kirk and sacrifice every American life for greater Israel. This is not only Candace Owens saying that Donald Trump killed Charlie Kirk, but also calling Donald Trump a satanic genocidal maniac, sacrificing all of America on this altar. What, is this his supporter that he's backstabbing? Like, let's be honest. All right, or what about Alex Jones? All right, Alex Jones is a big supporter of Donald Trump back in the day, for sure, but this is him calling for Trump to be impeached.
Compared to existential threat, how do we 25th Amendment his ass?
How do we 25th Amendment his ass? What, is this Trump's supporter? Is Trump backstabbing him by saying this?
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
Tackle Trump and pretend, let him pretend he's president and publicly report that he's going through a health issue and Vance take over.
All right, so hostile takeover of the United States government is what Vance and weird old hat guy are saying. All right, so Alex Jones, rather. So are we on the same page here? Are we on the same page? So when Donald Trump makes this tweet, he is calling out traitors and backstabbers, and quite literally people that are trying to get him impeached and sound more pathetic and gay and flamboyant than any leftist I've ever seen in my life. Like this is truly baby shit. We elected Donald Trump to be president of the United States, which means we have given him authority to do things, which also means if you don't like it, you gotta fucking lump it. All right, that's what it's all about. All right, so everyone calling for his impeachment. Trump has killed Charlie Kirk, according to Candace Owens. You need to tackle him and have a hostile takeover of the government, according to Alex Jones and Hat Guy. All right, we have Tucker Carlson telling the military to disobey his orders. Like, are we being serious here? So here we have Mehdi Hassan, radical leftist Islamist. I'm so tired of people letting Trump get away with this, whether it's Joe Kent or Tucker Carlson. People whom he previously loved, befriended, employed, immediately become enemies and the worst people if they dare disagree with him. They didn't disagree with him. Here we have literal fucking terrorist supporters like Mehdi Hassan stroking the ego of these allegedly conservative podcasters. It's truly insane stuff. It really is truly insane stuff watching this happen forever on the timeline. Like, these are traitors, and I called them all out first. I was literally first about it. Like, this is Tucker Carlson talking about how people in the White House are leaking him information.
So there are people working really hard, really late, trying to fix this, to get a peace, even one that diminishes us, where we have to take some lumps. They are doing that. That's the only reason we got to where we were yesterday, is because people in the White House, taking no credit for it whatsoever.
So this is him saying that he has personal leaks from the White House, which is why he has this information. And he says with zero evidence that this peace deal that was made was not because of Trump. It was made because people are pressuring Trump in the White House. And even though it's to the detriment of the United States of America, we're going to do it because we can't fucking possibly hurt Iran, right? Again, this seems pretty treasonous. It seems traitorous to me. All right, so again, I take it with a grain of salt, man. All right, this is one of the wildest one ever. This is him saying that actually the attempted assassination against Donald Trump, it wasn't done by the Iranians. It wasn't done by some lone gunman. It was Israel that tried to assassinate Donald Trump.
Why can't this president or any president say no to Israel?
Every single president has said no to Israel. Israel was bombing Iran 8 months ago, and Trump said they don't know what the fuck they're doing and told Israel to stop. Trump told them to stop. Every single other president did too. So, no one more than Barack Hussein Obama told them to stop. All right, Israel ended up giving up so much land because they were told to stop by different presidents. It is unbelievable rewriting of history to say that presidents can't tell Israel to stop.
And we have a right.
You realize that Israel used to own Gaza, right? You realize Israel gave Gaza away so that there could be like this independent state of Palestine. Then they elected Hamas as their government, and then they started killing Jews. Right? You remember that?
To know why. It's not just because we love Israel and it's the only democracy in the Middle East. And if it is, then our leaders are dumber than we thought they were. But it's probably not that. Because they understand perfectly well how bad this is for the U.S. And there are, believe it or not,
all right,
a lot of people in the White House who care about the United States.
That's crazy.
People with power in the White House. They're not all, whatever you think they are, zombies doing Bibi's bidding. Some of them can see very clearly where this is heading. It's heading toward a nuclear...
Well, I love how this dude straight up went all the way down the Israel controls the United States rabbit hole.
Strike by Israel on Iran. That's obvious.
Israel's not nuclear striking Iran. What are we fucking doing, man? It's not happening.
And that would be a world historic disaster. It's also
not going to happen.
Clearly terrible for the American economy, for the American people.
It's not happening.
Not even to mention the Americans who will die in numbers.
It's not happening.
If this becomes a land war. So there are people working.
Literally, it's not a land war. So you were proven wrong.
Really hard, really late trying to fix this, to get a peace, even one that diminishes us, where we have to take some lumps. They are doing that. That's the only reason we got to where we were yesterday, is because people in the White House taking no credit for control over our government. Is it consent? It doesn't look like it.
So what happened?
Joe Kent said point blank when he resigned. By the way,
Joe Kent, completely debunked a loser.
The day he resigned, he retained highest level security clearance. They tried to tell you, oh, he was a leaker. He was under investigation. It was a lie. They admitted it was a lie. He wasn't under investigation by the FBI. Untrue. And you know it's untrue because he held his security clearance till the day he left the building. So there's no...
Okay, so he left, and then he decided to do a little podcast run with all the podcast bros.
Oh, intelligence in the U.S. government that Joe Kent couldn't see.
Okay.
None.
Okay. And he still doesn't know who Epstein was working for? Sorry. Okay, all right.
He was one of the most informed people in the world, and his conclusion was, there's something weird going on here.
Yeah, and a lot of other people's conclusion was not that, it seems.
And one of the clues is the Butler shooting. The shooting in the summer of 2024 during the presidential election, where President Trump was shot in the ear by a gunman a little over 100 yards away on the roof of a building called Thomas Crook's.
Okay.
And according to Joe Kent, who would know, that investigation was closed before it pursued every possible lead.
Okay.
We can be
That's bad.
fairly confident that Thomas Crooks pulled the trigger. We cannot be confident at all that he acted alone.
Okay.
And of course, we can't
So
know
we should
because that
investigate it.
investigation was shut down. That's
okay,
what he
that's
said.
bad, obviously.
And Joe Kent, who you can dismiss as a wacko or a traitor, but you can't say he
He's
doesn't
definitely a traitor.
know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's definitely a traitor.
And you can't say the Trump administration didn't trust him with all available U.S. intelligence until the day he left. You can't say that because they did.
Okay, maybe. I don't know.
He
From what I understand, that's literally not true. It was proven and confirmed by literally the Donald Trump White House that he was not allowed into security meetings. He was not allowed into all of the security meetings for Iran, the Iran war. So this is just a lie.
has said out loud he thinks
All right.
the failure to
All
investigate
right.
the Butler shooting,
Okay,
the
I'm
shooting
ready.
of our now
Say
President
it.
Donald Trump,
Say it
and why
already.
wouldn't they investigate that, by the way?
Can we
That
say it,
alone
please?
is
Hello?
baffling.
Say it.
Why wouldn't they release
Stop
all the
wasting
information
time.
they have
Holy
about
fuck.
Thomas Crooks? They haven't.
my God.
Why? If it was a lone gunman, why didn't tell us all you know?
All right.
But they haven't. Why?
Why? Tell us.
He believes that is connected to the control that Israel has over
That's right. Israel tried to assassinate Donald Trump.
the United States government, the demonstrable control. He said that.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really glad we were able to have this gigantic listen. So the reason why, so Israel controls Trump, but also Israel tried to assassinate Trump, is what we're saying. Like, so are you really going to say that Trump backstabbed Tucker Carlson by calling him a retard? He is a retard. He actually is a retard. Candace Owens says, I may be time to put grandpa in a home when he made this tweet. Hello? You didn't know what temperature ice melts and what at temperature water freezes. Like you are retarded. You are low IQ. Well, we're just being honest here, right? Like, what are you so bad? This is Candace Owens when her friend gets assassinated. This is Donald Trump when Trump mocks Islam, right? Like, for real. This is levels of retard we've never seen before. Trump is right. These are low IQ grifters, all right? There will never be a peace in the world when Israel exists, all right? Just Candace casually calling for Israel to die. Like, you know, are we being serious here? Like, these are actual low IQ retard grifters. So, yeah. Donald Trump made a generational tweet. Candace makes this post saying, you know how big you got to be to make the Western Wall look small? Here's a picture of Randy Fine, a fat Jew. Oh my God, he's so fat. And Randy Fine, of course, responds with, honestly, something that will forever be relevant. Low IQ. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the low IQ. And look, man, the list just goes on forever. Here's Tucker Carlson saying the moon landing is fake. Here's Candace Owens not knowing how to pronounce words.
Posthumously, cordially accepted those posthumous terms. SCIF, which stands for a sensitive, compartmented, if you can't compartmentalize, and a CEO and a
Right?
war, even, and the NFL football team say blitzkrieg, like,
Blitzkrieg.
God, like, no, he just liked the architecture.
So the reality is, are we being serious? This is the gigantic Egyptian planes following Erica Kirk around, which is completely debunked. She changed the story 80 times over the course of her investigation, and Tucker Carlson ended up going on Theo Von's podcast to basically say that no, actually the Egyptian plane stuff is airtight. It's pretty solid. It's totally true.
But I know that recently Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and I just want to say that is factually true.
It is factually false. It's totally false. It's not even remotely true. It was completely and utterly debunked. I've shown this in previous videos, like a whole bunch of times. And we just need to live with these guys. These guys just going out there spouting the most retarded shit in the universe. All right, this is Alex Jones responding to Donald Trump.
It's done. But at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for him and pray that God touch his heart and soul and free him from the demonic influences that he's under.
Right, so Donald Trump is upset that these people have been calling for his impeachment and to use the 25th Amendment because he's possessed by a demon. We're not even taking this seriously, man. Like, what are we doing? All right, so this is Megyn Kelly saying that she would have preferred to vote for Biden. Yeah, so the GOP before Trump gave us Obamacare, open borders, Wall Street bailouts, and Ukraine blank checks. Right, but this is what they are saying. It makes it seem like they want to go back to. Like, I like to think of them as like, and I was going to say this to the end, but they're like a counterculture. They get their clicks by being the counterculture, and it's the only thing they know how to be. They don't know how to solve problems. They only know how to criticize situations. All right. So I think that they exist as a counterculture, the counter to the culture that was the woke bullshit under Biden. So they were super prevalent under Biden, criticizing the woke shit. But now that Trump is the dominant culture, and that the dominant culture in America is more conservative leaning, and that we're tired of all like the infinite whores in the LGBTQ plus community and all that bullshit. Now that everyone's tired of that, trans fatigue is through the roof. All right. We're all racist now. Like, we admit it. We're finally able to admit it. Yes, we're a little bit racist. I'm not gonna lie. I would cross the street if I saw a group of rowdy people of nebulous ethnic background walking towards me with their pants half off. I'm not gonna lie. I think that all people are made in the image of God, and all people are equal inherently. But statistically, some are more violent. You know what I'm saying? So the reality is, we don't have to play this game anymore, man. We don't have to play this game anymore. But these people only know how to be the counterculture. So retards like Megyn Kelly, who, by the way, in 2015 was pro-trans. Like, okay, pro-trans children. And so this is her saying that Obama and Biden were better presidents.
In there, in that situation room, when Bibi Netanyahu was seated as an equal, Trump didn't even sit at the head of the table. Trump sat at the side of the table, and Bibi was across from him as an equal in the American Situation Room. What led him to sit there and buy what that guy was selling hook, line, and sinker when every other president was able to see through that liar?
Yeah, and all the other presidents were just better than Trump. What can I say? Trump, what a fool. A stickler, an idiot. Immediately fooled by Netanyahu. All the other presidents, geniuses. They saw through it immediately. Incredible stuff. Well, you might think that, wow, I can't believe that we have a conservative glazing Obama, the destroyer of America, and Biden, the destroyer of America too. Well, she also praises the Islamic regime.
And more death and destruction. The Iranians proved to be tough MFers. And they realized that they had something far more powerful than a nuclear bomb. They had control over the Strait of Hormuz. And Trump was warned prior to getting involved in this conflict by...
Do you think Trump didn't realize that they could commit acts of terror on the Strait of Hormuz? Like, I love how everyone just thinks that, like, oh yeah, they have the Strait of Hormuz is just theirs and stuff. It's not theirs. It's public shipping, right? They're committing terror attacks, and the entire world decided to do nothing about
the
it.
chairman of the Joint Chiefs, that they were not likely to collapse easily, and that...
So let me understand just for a second the Megyn Kelly perspective, which is, again, just someone that exists to criticize others and doesn't actually exist to posit any form of growth or solution, because she is not a conservative. She's never been a conservative. She's always been a covert feminist. She's never been a conservative. All right, but the reality is, let's be honest. Well, what's her solution? Let Iran get a nuclear weapon and then deal with them? But then they'll just strangle the Strait of Hormuz with the nuclear weapon. Like, do you understand how retarded this line of argumentation is? It's like, well, you know, Iran they wouldn't have gotten a nuclear weapon for like 5 years. Okay, so then when in your timeline, assuming it would take 5 years for them to get a nuclear weapon, because we know that they are going to do it. They enriched uranium to 60%. We know it's inevitable. So on your timeline, when's the best time to stop Iran? In 4 years? Well, in 4 years, they will have a ballistic missile arsenal that is massive, 100 times the size that it is now. We would have taken thousands of losses and casualties in a war, and we would have never been able to open the Strait of Hormuz. Never. So, like, again, this is the perspective that you're offering here. Like, it's completely retarded. Megyn Kelly is doing shows now with Anna Kasparian, radical leftist, pro-Islamist retard. Like, do we understand what is happening here in front of our eyes? Like, so these are the people that Donald Trump is criticizing. Donald Trump didn't just randomly pick 4 conservative podcasters and blast them because they criticized him. A lot of people criticize Donald Trump. You know, honestly, a lot of people criticize Donald Trump. But these people are all frauds and morons. I'm sorry. They are. Right? This is the clip that forever cemented Donald Trump, Megyn Kelly as a Trump hater, whether she wanted to admit it or not.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No, you offended women. Donald Trump, you offended women. Wow, look at that look of absolute defeat. No, Donald, you offended women. No, I can't believe you would offend women like that. So Donald Trump has been completely justified with all of these fuckers. I'm not even going to lie. And again, this is Jack Posobiec, someone who's like a very close friend of Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and all these people. And this is him posting straight up Iranian terrorist state propaganda, showing videos of how Iran is actually a paradise.
Iran.
Anyway, so I'm gonna get copyrighted for this gay music, but look at how Iran is such a paradise. The cars are nice, the people are so free. The people are so free, guys. This is like the equivalent of showing literally a mansion in Beverly Hills and being like, Congo. Like, that's the equivalent here. This is what's going on in Iran, man. If you want to actually pay attention to what's going on in Iran, you have to admit that what's really happening, right? So this is Iran and India saying, look, it's a coffee shop in Tehran, the first day of the ceasefire. Look, it's so beautiful. Everyone is so free. Boomer minds would break if they saw this on Fox News. Wow, look, it's so free. It's beautiful. This is literally a bakery in LA. This is in LA. This is not in Iran. All right. But the reality is no one matters. It doesn't matter. You get a viral tweet, and that's the only thing that people care about. No one actually gives a shit about reality. Reality doesn't even matter to these people, but that's it. Anyway, these are Iranians dancing in public. They were sentenced to 10 years in prison for dancing in public. All right. So while we have based podcasters, preaching based values, they're literally just whitewashing the unbelievable crimes that are happening against the Iranian people in Iran as a weapon to attack Trump. All right, these are how the Islamic forces just mowed people down in the streets. They had to power wash blood off the roads after these massacres took place, man. Now, one of the arguments that Tucker Carlson made was that Joe Kent left because he knew that Israel was controlling everyone and stuff. And watch him just fold on that entire claim with zero pressure, like literally under zero pressure.
Withhold things from the Israelis, which we can do. The Israelis do have a modern air force, but they rely on us for a lot of the logistics, the refueling, in order to be able to reach into Iran. So we very much are in the driver's seat of what we. Well,
that's not true, Joe. That's just
factually false. Israel fought a war basically entirely themselves 8 months ago and humiliated Iran. So this is just not true.
Obviously false because we didn't help them with.
No, it's 100% true. They can't reach into. They cannot reach into Israel. I've actually been in the military, man. I've been part of these operations.
Like, that's really cool for you. That's really awesome. But you're literally proven wrong by reality.
Explain how they did the 12-day war without refueling. Right? If we weren't participating.
No, we did not. We did not participate in the 12-day war until Midnight Hammer, where we dropped a big fucking bomb on their nuclear sites. We did not assist at all in any Israeli strikes on Iran during that 12-day war 8 months ago.
We helped them out. Well, we helped them out a good.
Struck the hell out of
we helped them out a good deal with logistics. They can't.
Logistics? What, you just said that it was refueling.
Sustain operations without us. They wouldn't be able to continue to sustain operations all the way into Iran with conventional military forces in any meaningful way.
Which they did. And they only stopped because Trump literally told them they have to stop. And then they stopped because they listened to basically everything that Trump says.
Without our support, we have to pull that back. We also have to pull back their ability to go on the offense outside of their borders because it's going to interfere with the peace that we're trying to achieve. Right?
Yeah. How dare Israel strike terrorists in Lebanon that are shooting missiles at them because it might make it bad for us. Again, this guy is unbelievable.
Right now, we're paying for their defense. We're paying for the offense. And also in terms of our status in the region and our ability to keep commerce and oil flow going out of the Straits of Hormuz and the Middle East, all of that is being negatively affected by us.
It has nothing to do with Israel. That's because Islamic Iranian terrorists are bombing ships in there.
Us listening to a foreign government.
This has nothing to do with Israel.
So we have to put Israel back in the junior partner role if we're going to accomplish our strategic
Why couldn't you
objectives.
persuade Pete Hegseth of any of this?
Oh, shit. Here's the question. So if this guy was briefed and they had all the classified info and he saw that Israel was manipulating us and all that, while you were literally head of counterterrorism, why couldn't you talk to Pete Hegseth about this?
Well, I tried. So that
I wonder why I didn't listen.
Therefore,
He didn't agree with you, and he has better intelligence than you. You weren't privy to any of this stuff. Like, you just don't know. That's why you're now on the outside doing podcasts.
True! Bro decided he was going to really help America by stepping down as counterterrorism chief and become a podcaster. Are we even being serious?
Instead of inside the administration trying to shape policy.
Oh, my God. True.
You don't know.
Well,
You didn't persuade him.
From the inside.
Bro.
Like, look, man, my letter of resignation has been out there. What's important right now is that we support President Trump and getting.
Oh, yes, we must support President Trump. All right, so again, these people are completely fucking retard snakes. And in my opinion, they're trying to do a hostile takeover of the Republican Party. Now, I have my issues with the Republican Party. I don't think it's nearly conservative enough. I don't think it's nearly radical enough. I've criticized Trump many, many times on my show. He's not nearly hard enough in faith matters, in my opinion. I would love to criminalize abortion. I would like to remove gay marriage. I don't think that I think marriage is a holy concept. It's a religious concept between man and woman. I don't think gay marriage is a real thing. I would like to deport every single illegal, and I would like to revoke like the visas and citizenships of as many people as we possibly can. Impeach the judges and jail the politicians that are fraudsters. I disagree with him plenty on things. I don't think he's nearly radical enough on most areas, but I'm not a fucking snake, and I'm not paid off by foreign countries, and I'm not rooting against the United States of America. Fuck you.